Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of Real Time with T&M. Our first episode was actually a banger with Tina. It was really a very interesting session, and I'm very sure that every one of you that actually watched that video really enjoyed that video. And we are not going to be
Mm.
slacking in this second episode, also. We are going to be bringing the heat and the fun and the cruise like we did with Tina. I'm actually not alone today. And by the way, my name is Abefe. You all know my name, but then me no be like say I don't introduce myself again. My name is Abefe, and I'm not alone. You can see I'm with the beautiful lady, my co-host, and that is Maureen.
Hi guys, I am super excited to be here again with you guys. Like Abafe said, the last episode we had was a bang. It was a good way to start this journey with you guys, and we love the feedback that you guys gave with Tina and all. We really appreciate you guys for the feedback. And today we are not stopping. It always gets better along the way. And today we have an incredible person seated on the session with us this night. Oh my god, like I'm still trying to get myself because you guys are going to love this session. You guys are going to be blown away. So, like Abafe said, this is our second episode, and welcome to Real Time with T and M, where we get to have conversations with the incredible minds of the community. And today we have the fascinating, amazing, incredible person that I look up to. Yes, and also has been inspiration to a lot of us. Well, this is no other person than Anoma. Guys, welcome
Ladies and
Anoma.
gentlemen, let's welcome Anoma to the stage. I will actually add that effect, that clapping effect.
Hi everyone, thank you for having me. This is such an amazing opportunity, and I look forward to this conversation with you guys. Thank you for having me in the house.
All right, welcome to Real Time with T&M Anoma. It's an honor to sit here with you and have conversation around your journey and why you share your story and how you overcame those challenges to be where you are right now. So you guys know how we do it. We're gonna start with the introduction. A lot of people know who Anoma is. You have like 23,000
Please don't
followers
mind me
on
more.
LinkedIn. That is a lot. That is a lot. So, of course, you guys must have known who she is, but it's our regular to always try to introduce our speaker for those that don't, really know who our speaker is. So, Anoma is the founder of Women in Data Africa, which is a community that helps women venture into their data career path. And also, she's a data analyst at Bloomberg LP UK. She is a social impact advocate and also a fellow at the Yali Regional Leadership Center West Africa, Dakar. She's also a fellow at the Millennial Campus Network, which is the network that helps address humanity and their challenges. Anoma is has been featured in articles like Ishango, Detalium, and also has been featured in TV stations like TVC and also Nigerian Info. Welcome to the show, Anoma. Welcome to Real Time with T&M.
Yeah, we have to
Thank
welcome
you
her
so
once
much.
again.
I feel like saying Upo Kefike. You really did your research. And thank you so much for introducing me. Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
All right. So I've been meaning to ask you this question while I was researching and studying about you and your track records. I wanted to ask, apart from data, apart from women in data, apart from all these that I've read, what else? Is there any other thing you do for fun aside from work?
I love to read. I read a lot. Last week, I think I read about 6 books last week. I finished one book this week already. I just started reading this. I don't know if that's going to show. I just started reading this. I love to read. I love to watch movies, anime, animations, cartoons, and I love to hang out with my friends. I'm very low maintenance when it comes to interests and things I do for fun. Yes, I don't have that many things, but I love to read and watch movies, anime, animations, pretty much.
Anime, like this anime thing has been popping up since last month for me. I was part of the volunteer team at Data Fest Africa, and I was uh, I was managing some speakers that was actually in my hall, and literally every single speaker, not literally, but every single speaker, we were talking about anime. I don't know if there's a relationship between data analysts or tech with anime movies and all. Like, shout out to Joycey, by the way. She's an incredible lady. One her session is one of the biggest session in Data Fest Africa. But she's just like talking about this anime. Please enlighten me. Is there anything? Because I'm not an anime fan. Eh? If that's the
I'm not
case,
an
let me
anime
start
fan,
watching.
so I'm not into anime too.
I'm not sure what it is, but for me, I just anime is like adult movies. I don't know. I if you like to watch animations, you probably like watching anime. It's just the Japanese that makes it anime. It's still an animation, but it's just the Japanese language that actually makes it anime, if that makes sense. But I can recommend for a start. Yeah,
Please do.
watch Your Name. Your Name is a movie. It's not a series, so you're not going to spend like 10 years watching it. Your Name is actually really good. It's a Studio Ghibli movie and it's amazing. So Your Name it's is a good shout for anyone that wants to start their anime career.
The anime career.
Okay, I'll go see that then because I really want to act like apart from Tina. Tina is the only girl I know that watches Korean movie and football and all the stuff. I don't think she's an anime person, but every other person, anime. Like even those of the data space though. Like okay, thank you for the recommendation. I'll definitely get to see that. I hope you're with me on this. We'll get to see together.
Yeah, I'm not an anime fan. You understand? I have friends that do anime, and I feel like there is actually this form of positive correlation to a degree between anime people in quote and tech people. My friend is a cybersecurity engineer and is all crazy about anime. But I love animations, okay? I watch animations, I watch cartoons, but I don't watch anime. But Anoma said probably I'm like there's a chance that if I like animations, I might like anime. Maybe I'll just, give it a try one of those days. But I
Mm,
watch Marvel movies. I'm a comic book fan in general, but I'm more of a Marvel fan. I also watch some DC. So probably we are together at least, to a certain degree.
okay, okay. I'll definitely see that. Please don't forget to put down the name for us. For me, I don't know about buffet. I'll definitely get to see that. Please don't forget.
I will.
All
Thank you.
right, all right. So let's get into the conversation. Thank you for coming in once again, Anoma. It's an honor to have you here. And like this podcast, we always try let our speakers talk about their journey and how they started. So I'll go with the first question, which would be, how did you start your journey? What, of course, there's always a beginning. You know,
Yeah.
even the Bible said, "Do not despise your little beginning." So there must be like a step, those baby steps that you took to be here today. You know, when people look at you, they're like, "Oh, a normal," but there's a normal that's down before the normal up. You know, so can you walk us through that journey and share it with our audience?
I will start calling you Pastor Maureen. Uh,
Hallelujah.
so my data career actually started by mistake. Not by mistake, because I was very conscious about building it. But I started when I was in my penultimate year, when I was in year three. So I went to Unilag, University of Lagos. So shout out to every Akokite, greatest Akokite.
Greatest Akokite. Great.
Great. And then I had this lecturer when I was in year three that wanted me to go outside under the sun to share questionnaires. And I knew that I couldn't do that because I don't know, going outside of the sun to share questionnaires was just not my thing. So I told him that I could create a Google form for him. And what I would do is collect all of the answers for the questionnaires and then give it to him. Yeah, I didn't know how to create a Google form, so I just lied that I knew how to create one. I went on YouTube, I learned how to create one. I did it for him, and then I noticed that Google Forms automatically analyze your data on like a very generic level analysis. So I showed him that aspect of the Google form, and he kind of fell in love with it and made me learn how to use Excel, because we needed to use Excel to actually analyze the data very well, minus what Google Form was giving us. So I had to learn Excel for this lecturer, and ever since then, I think he used me until I left Unilag, pretty much. But that's kind of where my love for data started from. So you know when you go on YouTube and you search for something, and then all of a sudden you're seeing that um, the same thing you search for on your other social media apps, and even when you come back the following day, you see other videos that are related to that particular like thing you searched for. So
Yeah.
that was the thing that happened to me. I just noticed the following day that I started getting recommendations for like, okay, learn this for Excel, learn Power BI, learn Gget. So like I started getting
Yeah.
content on my data content on my algorithm, on my YouTube algorithm, and also on, I think, was it Instagram I was using then? I can't remember. I wasn't on Twitter or Snapchat or any other thing. So I think Instagram was the one that was also suggesting data content. And I decided to take it a bit further when I got to my final year. I signed up for a boot camp. That's a Utiva boot camp. That's where I met Fabi. I don't know if you guys probably know Fabi Okoyemi or Opiano. I think that's what they call him in the
Yeah.
data
Yeah,
Piano.
community.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that's where I met him. He was teaching then, and he's a great teacher. So I could grasp most of the thing I was learning, and I just decided to like pursue it. Yeah, I was studying human resources in school, so it was a bit hard to like juggle that and also juggle learning data as like a different, entirely different field to HR. But yeah, that's how I started. Long story.
Amazing. Amazing. So, just because of one Google form, your life, your life totally changed. Just I couldn't imagine you saying, "Oh no, I cannot do that," but you had no
Yeah,
idea what Google form is, and but you went ahead to do that. Incredible, incredible. You said you were still in school while you were learning data. I know most of our audience are beginners, and most of them are also in school and they're also trying to learn data. Would you like share the experience with us, like the struggles, the challenges you faced during those moments of trying to learn and also be in school?
it was very challenging. Yeah, but like you know how people say that if your dream does not scare you, it was challenging and scary. And you know how people say if your dream does not scare you, then it's probably not big enough. I remember I remember that the first time I told someone when I was in year three that after school I want to be a data analyst, and they looked at me and they were like, "What is a data analyst? Are you sure that even exists? Where will you find job? What would
Mm,
you do?" Yeah, and it
yeah,
was even hard for me to kind of teach people what data analytics was, and like just so that they can understand a bit and maybe support me. I mean, they did try to support me, but it was really hard for me to kind of teach my friends what the field was about, because even when they checked online, it wasn't as rampant rampant then as it is
yeah,
right now. It wasn't as popular. So it was a bit challenging. But one thing I know that I did very early in my career was to build consistency as a habit.
mm,
And it's one thing I tell women in my community to always do, or even my friends. If you want to learn something, try to do it for a minimum of 28 days. There's science backed up with this. If you want to build a new skill, if you want to build an habit, if you want to build consistency, if you want to grow, all you have to do is do that thing consistently. As long as you're doing it right, you're not doing the wrong thing consistently for 28 days. So do that one thing consistently for 28 days, and there will be growth at the very least. And after that, subconsciously, you just notice that you always want to do that thing. I mean, it applies to our everyday life. Every single day, we want to brush our teeth, even when we kind of don't feel like it. We wake up and automatically one of the first things we want to do in the morning is brush our teeth. That is mostly because we've built it over time as a habit.
yeah,
So if
yeah,
you're
true.
able to spend at least 30 to 1 hour every single day trying to learn, it can just be a YouTube video, it can be a guided project, it can be a podcast, it can be a book, it can be anything. At the end of the day, you would see significant growth in your journey. So that's what I did. And I know it doesn't often work for so many people because people have different schedules and people have different strengths and different capabilities. What I always tell people again is when you're building an habit, make sure that you are building it around your lifestyle. So you want to ensure that you are not um, aiming, when I mean aiming too high, you're not saying you're going to learn for 5 hours in a day when you know you have classes for 8 hours. You need to also find time to study for your classes and for your exams. You can't flunk out of school. That's not an option.
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't aim too high. Start little, build small habits, and then grow from there.
Hmm.
Wow, amazing. So consistency or learning for 28 days, start small, build small habits, and you grow from there. Amazing. You mentioned community. I'm still going to ask you questions about women in data Africa. Like when I first heard about women in data Africa, I think my friend, shout out to Tosin by the way, she's a service now engineer or something something. So we were in the process of trying to go into the data space, and she was also at the business analytics, but with Salesforce before she switched to service now. So she shared your I think your mail to me, that's like November last year. She shared it
Mm.
with me and I'm like, what the heck is this? I looked, I was seeing like uh, names and jobs. I think what attracted me most was the job because as at then I was looking for a job, like a data job. So she was like, oh, you can get resources from there. And before you know it, she got the Slack. The Slack was the first place I joined. I don't know if it's still working or functional right now. From the Slack, I don't know who even added me to the WhatsApp. I think I added myself from Slack to WhatsApp. So I'm still gonna ask you questions around that because you've really shaped a lot of life, a lot of women's life in particular. I'm sorry about fair that I'm particularly talking about women, but please don't be. Or it's not feminism here. We're not doing that.
I can
Please.
identify as a woman, please, in case if you don't mind.
Okay, so let me just go ahead with the question before the other ones. So women in data Africa is I think is one of the biggest data community in Africa as a whole. Is huge. So like I would like you to walk us through how you got the idea. What even like how did you I don't know, but just walk us through how you got the idea, the growth process of women in data Africa and how you're managing it right now and where it is right now.
That's a good question. And every time someone asks me that question, which is not often, because most
Oh,
people don't usually know that I'm the like founder of the community. It's not it's not a thing that I talk about every single day. So people just know the community. Some people think I work for the community. Even people in the community, they think I work and I'm being paid to like organize events and run the day-to-day activities of the community. The community started. I don't want to say by mistake because I mean it's not a mistake, but there was a time when I did an 100 days of data challenge, and I remember I used to post on I think Twitter. Yes, I was on Twitter mostly, so that's where I used to post. And then a bunch of people reached out to me that they wanted me to be their accountability partner, and I knew for a fact that I couldn't be everybody's accountability partner. That's not productive. That's not like what accountability partner means. So what I did was to create a group, and I said, okay, if you know you're interested in doing the 100 days of data, join this group. And people joined, and then we realized that women were the ones that joined the group and not men. And the name of the group at first was 100 Days of Data Challenge for like the longest time. Then a friend of mine Amaka, shout out to Amaka. She reached out to me on WhatsApp and then she was like, Anoma, I think you should change the name of the community to the name of the chat to something like a community. And then I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, you're putting in so much work. You're not on social media. You don't post anything about the community. You don't post anything about your work. These people are always tagging you on their growth, but you're not even on social media to see it. So why
Mm.
don't you actually run this as a community and create a social media account for it so that you take it more seriously? And then
Mm.
I was like, okay, if you come up with a name, I will do it. And then she came up with a name. At first, it was Women in Data. And then we saw that there was actually a community called Women in Data Community. And then she was like, okay, let's do for Black people since there's no representation for Black people. Let's put Africa at the back. And that's how we became Women in Data Africa. To answer your question on how I'm managing it right now, I genuinely don't know. Like, we have successfully sent newsletters every week for I'm not
I
sure
get
how
it.
many months.
I get it.
how how I ensure that happens, I still don't know. How that actually has consistently happened, I still don't have any idea because sometimes I'm just like, okay, let's skip this week. And something tells me you cannot break your streak. You just cannot. That's not a reputation you want to have. Even if I know nobody's paying attention, but like I know that I'm paying attention. So even when I don't
Definitely.
send it, thank you, babe. Even when I don't send it, but like Wednesday or Thursday, I'm a Christian, so like I believe in these things. The Holy Spirit always reminds someone that reminds me that, oh, what's up? You've not sent the newsletter this week.
Yeah.
Send it. It's content is available. Send it out. So right now we're in the process of restructuring. We want to open in Ghana, in South Africa, in major countries where we have major members. We want to start having physical events. We want to do big things. So we're currently in the process of restructuring, and I just want to hope for the best, at least for the community and its members and for their growth.
Can't wait. I can't really wait to see all that growth, especially I don't know. I'm an advocate of empowering women, telling women that they can do more than what they think. And when I saw that you were doing the, I didn't even know you were the founder, like you said at first. It was a buffet that caught my attention. And also during my research, I found out this is the founder. And like I told you yesterday, it's an honor to have this session with
Why
you.
is Abafi laughing?
I'm a first off. And I'm so happy with what you're doing with the women and all, trying to bring in people, trying to make women understand they can do more than what they can. Right. Thank you so much. Thank you for being consistent. That is the number one thing. You have been consistent over the years. I think it's a year now, right?
It should be officially a year or even more than a year, actually.
3 months because I my friend sent it to me last year November, so it should be more than a year. This is November, so well,
Thank you,
that's
Pastor
that's a
Morin.
good one. What?
Oh, I said thank you, Pastor Morin.
Oh, hallelujah! Come, let me pour your anointing oil.
Why do you Abafi go to the case bad?
Ah, yeah, I
I'm
didn't
gonna
go,
ask
Jerry.
this.
I didn't go anywhere.
Okay, I'm gonna ask this question before Abafe takes over. Like, if there's something you were to do differently in your journey, if there's something you were to change, what would that be?
So I used to tell people that ask me this question, I used to tell them that I wish I started early. But I think now I've come to the realization that when I started was when I should have started. And
Mm,
if I didn't start then, if I had started earlier, I would have probably been in a better place right now or in a less better place, or like some of these things are unimaginable, and also like there's so many possibilities to what would have happened if I started at any point in my life. But if there is one thing right now that I'd love to change about my past year, about how I started. Um, okay, I wish I studied a tech-related course.
Oh,
Yes, yeah, that's that's something that I I kind of I mean, I don't beat myself up about it because I mean, I love that I coming from a non-tech background, and people that are coming from such backgrounds can also relate to my story, and they can also dream big, and they can also pursue their goals with like so much passion. But sometimes, especially when I apply for stuff and I get rejected because of the class, you don't come from a non-tech background and you're pursuing a tech field, it hurts sometimes. So yeah, that I think that's
Yeah.
like the only thing that I would have changed or I've loved to change. Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, Abafe, you
That's
can take it now.
Yeah, yeah, that is actually a. I was about to ask you something, but that is actually a very good one. So, first thing first, Akokite, University of Lagos School of First Relations, Pride. Okay, so what departments? So, what department? I know you said management science. You mentioned something like CIPM, so it's management science. So, what department
Faculty.
was set?
Oh, I was in. It's a long name, but like the short name of the department is Human Resources.
I
What's that?
know.
I I I can remember. I got into school. I got my admission into school September 11, 2015. So
Okay.
if you do the maths, officially I should have finished 2019, but I did in 2019 because there was the ASU strike when I was in year one, and so many things during my 4 years. So I think I eventually graduated unofficially in 2020, but then officially in 2022 because of COVID. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you said you didn't come from a non-tech background, which I think I would agree with you to a certain degree. But okay, let's assume you were more of probably business intelligence, then your management background should have kind of like giving you this
Yes.
yeah,
Edge.
so
Yeah.
you're from exactly, so you're from ER and HR, so that is employment relations, human relation management. I know your
Human resources
faculty,
management department.
yeah, I
Yeah.
know your faculty. It's one of the top faculty out there in the University of Lagos. So I want to ask you
Cool. Cool.
something. Alongside your data journey and all of those stuff, have you seen a form of correlation or anything in ER that has helped you a bit? Something you learned in ER that has actually like helped you a bit in data analysis? Is there like a form of like association one way or the other?
I would say yes because skills are always transferable. Skills and knowledge and abilities are always transferable regardless of your background. There are certain skills that you can highlight, and there are certain knowledge that you can highlight that you can successfully pass over to your new career, if that makes sense. Like, so for example, when I was in school, I taught a lot. I taught my sets how to use Excel. I taught them how to build their CV. I taught them how to answer interview questions. Like, I did the old job already, like teachings to most of my classmates. And that helped me because in one way or the other, I was talking to them and they were giving me feedback. And so during my interviews, I never had any feedback that talked about my communication. Like, if I was to not get into a job role, it would be because of my communication skills, or maybe my critical thinking skills or my intuitive skills. That's mostly because I was able to build these skills while I was still in school. As regards human resources specifically, or even from the certification specifically, maybe because I actually practiced human resources for 1 year during my NYC year. And as much as I absolutely loved it, my boss and even my boss's boss could speak about how excellent I was on the job, mostly because I mean I'd learned these things and I'd done my research and I was practicing what I learned from school. And because of that job, I was able to like build other skills that opened like other jobs for me. And that job also made me realize that I didn't want to practice human resources. Like sometimes when you want to convince yourself of starting a career, like maybe you have two options. Sometimes practicing one of them might convince you that, oh, maybe you shouldn't be doing this. This is not what you want to spend your entire life actually doing or
Yeah.
building. And then you move to the other career. So, like, but to answer your question, short answer to your question, yes, I've been able to transfer certain skills for human resources into my current role.
Oh, yeah, that is actually a very good one. I'm of the school of thought that yes, the data space, let us be honest, the data space is for everybody. Okay. Yeah, anyone can transition into the data space, but some set of background will find it easier to
Yes,
transition. Okay,
definitely.
yeah, some set of people. Let us be honest. You coming from English or from law to data to DA is fine. It's a good one. But somebody coming from computer science, from mathematics, will find it, a bit
Yeah.
easier to transition compared to you. So that now leads to my second question. Do you think a solid math background is a prerequisite to the data space as a whole, or data analysis in general, like DA to be specific, rather?
A solid maths background. I don't have a maths background, so I'd say no. But a solid maths, not maybe not even maths, statistics understanding is definitely needed for your data journey. Like even if, regardless of if you're a business analyst or a data analyst or scientist, it's always very important that you understand, how do I say it? It's always very important that you understand like the intricacies of the tools you're using, if that makes sense. I understand that Python and R they have libraries for you to use for some of your analysis, but actually understanding what you need to do with the analysis in the first place. Like, for example, if you have a data set and you want to calculate, and maybe you have empty data points, you wouldn't know if you should use main or a median or mode, or if you should even delete the data point if you did not understand statistics in the first place. So yeah, I always tell people like, if anybody has come to me for a one-on-one mentorship before, I always tell them learn statistics. Like, dead the thing in your head that statistics is hard, dead it in your head, and go and learn it if you actually want to have a successful data career. I also know people are of a school of thought that it's not necessary, but personally, I just think to save yourself a lot of troubles, a lot of headaches in the long run, a lot of researching what you should do with your data set, just learn it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know if that answers
I
your question.
I remembered I remembered, I think the first encounter I had with you was
Yeah, that
you
conversation.
exactly, yeah, we had a very interesting conversation regarding how statistics is very important to the data analysis, the DA space to be specific. And I love the fact that you wanted your community people to like understand the fact that, see, you know even if it is to learn the basic statistics, from
Basics, yeah.
like mean, median, mode, just know the logic, the mathematics that is going on behind. If I just press mean is equals to what is going on, they just have like a, you know something that it makes sense. Like, statistics make data analysis make sense. It make sense from the like down, down, down.
Yeah.
Obviously, let us be honest, you can actually still do your DA and probably not know statistics. it's
And be
it's possible.
successful. It's possible
Yeah, it's
actually.
possible, but there's some level you will get to, some things will just go off. But someone that has the statistics will be like, oh no, it's there. Oh,
Yeah.
do that,
That's
just
a
remove that,
loophole.
and boom. And that's just, so that is what I actually advise people to actually go after. So I also want to like ask you something right now. Okay, you are in Bloomberg right now and you are still running the WIDA. Okay, so my question is, how are you being able to balance running WIDA and at the same time working, and at the same time, trying to read and all of those stuff? Just run us through, please.
Uh, I think Pastor Marin kind of already asked that, but I think I mostly have a routine. So I have a morning routine. I'm that type of girly, and I have a night routine, a nighttime routine. And every single time, like my flatmates entered my room this morning, and then she was like, "God, your entire room is structured down to your drugs. Like, I don't know where my drugs case is somewhere here, but like down to like my daily drugs, I have everything structured and organized. I feel like it saves me time. It saves my brain like some space to worry about certain things or to find certain things or to be worried about certain things. So, for example, I know that every night. Immediately I get to my room, I have my bath. If I'm hungry, I eat. And if I want to watch a movie, if I still have time, I watch a movie. That's before I sleep. So they call it wind down night routine. And then right before I sleep, 1 hour before I sleep, I pick up my book and I read till I sleep. Like, when girls sleep and they can't find their bonnets, that's how I am with my book at night. Like I wake up and I can't find my bonnet and the book I was reading. So that's that's the only way. So this also I've also carried this like lifestyle into my weekends. So my weekends is also very structured in the sense that I have fun. I'm in my own definition of fun. Maybe not people's definition of fun, but my own
I
definition
would
of
like to
fun.
hear. I would like to hear that definition of fun.
My
What's
own
that
definition
definition
of
of
fun.
fun?
I have it during the weekends, but I also make out time for community work during the weekends.
Okay.
Yeah, so like every week, I know that every Thursdays I send out emails for the community. So I know that one, I'm working from home on Thursday. I'm not coming into the office so that I can be with my personal laptop and do what I want to do. And I also know that that Thursday is structured in such a way that it fits into my community lifestyle. I don't know if that makes sense, but like essentially I have a routine for everything and I also have a structure that allows me to do what I want to do and when I want to do
Mm.
them.
Yeah, I think you are more of like a you have like this
Prim
pattern
and
of
I'm not prima
yeah.
pova. Like guy, I don't think I'm prima pova. I feel like I'm
so
definitely far from
organized.
it.
Mm.
But one major feedback that I know people tell me is that I am organized, even down to so for fun. Last week Saturday, I organized an anime watch party where we watched a new anime movie that came out this year. And the person I organized it with, so like I use Notion. I don't know if you guys know Notion, but like
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
sure. I know
Notion
notion.
Notion actually organizes my entire life. So I created a Notion page for the party and I sent it to him. And then I was like, wait, oh, do you actually use Notion down to the point of organizing parties? And I say yes. I do. And like the guy was like, that's the first kind of party you'd organize that was stress free because everything was on Notion. And like all you have to do is just look at it and you know what you're meant to be doing at any point. So yeah.
Okay, wow. Okay, yeah, really. I used to think I'm a bit organized, but no, 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 no.
Please
You are
don't worry
more
me.
organized than I am, to be
Don't
honest.
worry me.
I used to think like to be honest, I used to think you're a DS person, like you are more of a data scientist.
Yeah, me
I used to
too.
think
I'm
you're
in the
more of,
process.
yeah.
Fingers crossed.
So are you trying to like transition into DS in the long run? Machine
trying
learning.
trying is the key word and it's is the major word there. So one of the major rejections I got last year was from like every master school. I think I talked to Abife about this that I applied
Mhm.
to. So I really wanted to study this science and I wanted to transition from data analytics because I already practiced for a year and I felt like, oh, I'd like to do more ML work and just focus more on building models, for example. But most of the schools I applied to rejected me because I don't have a tech background, and they just cannot believe that I will be able to cope when I get admission. Do you get? So right now I'm
Mm.
self-studying, which is harder than, say, for example, being in school and actually being taught. But I mean, it's it's one way to, I guess, keep the dream alive for now.
Okay, I want to ask you some couple of questions right now. Okay, it's gonna be like a true question, just between two. You just pick
Okay.
one. Okay, ready? It's
Oh,
gonna
I
be
should pick
interesting.
one.
Okay,
One of the
you just
questions.
pick one. Yes. No, no, no.
Okay.
It's a question with two options. You just pick
Oh, okay,
one.
okay, okay, okay.
Okay, so let's go. First thing first. I know the answer to this, but I'll still ask it. Movie or movie or books?
Both.
Books.
Obviously, it's gonna be book now. Rihanna or Beyonce?
Rihanna. Yeah, that's
We,
usually surprising. We can talk
yeah.
about it if you want to talk about it.
Please talk
Yeah.
about it because I'm a Beyonce
Yes.
fan. I'm with
Yeah, I
her.
also
Any
love Beyonce. Like For Coachella, I know all of the songs down to the drum beats, like down to every single part of like the entire of Coachella. I can sing everything from my head. But Rihanna is just, Rihanna, she's just like a body, she has a
Wow, that's
business,
nice.
she has I don't know, she just
I'm
I
coming.
just really
I'm coming
I
back
really
to
like
that.
Rihanna is
I'm
that girl that when you're struggling in the exam hall, she'll help you out. She'll literally say,
Mm.
"Psst, this is the answer." Beyonce might not,
Whiskey or
Thank you very
Davido.
much.
I would definitely pick Davido. I'm
Oh
not
my
sure.
goodness.
I'm not sure.
Gee. Okay, fried rice or jollof rice?
Mm, fried rice because of the vegetables. Yeah, fried rice.
You are just shocking me, yo. You are really, really, really shocking me. Yeah, like okay, London or Manchester?
I haven't been to Manchester yet. So I'll say London because I live in
Okay,
London.
it's fair. It's fair. Like London is where most of the Nigerians, like in Peckham, like there are like more in Peckham, like the Yoruba guys. Someone said like
Peckham
Peckham is like Yaba. Like Peckham is like I think Peckham is in London, right?
is in London. I go there to eat
Yeah,
amala.
that Peckham is like
Yeah.
Yaba. Like you go to hear Yoruba for Peckham, say Karo. If you say
Yes.
Peckham, someone will say Kilo Shele. Like it's literally
The
Yoruba. Like it's
amala
like
place I
Sabo
went
Yaba.
to, the amala place I went to had African magic on, and all these usual amala buka places where there's like a grandma that is just shouting orders. He had
Yeah.
that there. So there was a grandma sitting somewhere just shouting orders in Yoruba and insulting everybody on the TV because like it was really nice. But like
I I I don't know. I don't know. Okay. So Marvel or DC?
I will say definitely Marvel. I love Doctor Strange. So I like Spider-Man too, but like I really love Doctor
Come on.
Strange. So Marvel.
So Superman or Batman?
I don't think I've seen any of the movies. So,
No, like
but
I mean the character.
the franchise
Who do you
or
prefer?
the
Yeah,
characters,
just the character, yeah.
maybe Superman. I think Batman is the one that
Hmm.
wears this thing.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
black,
No,
the
so
black guy.
definitely Superman.
So,
Definitely Superman.
Hmm. Your favorite female superhero?
Okay, so my definition of superhero is a bit skewed. Yeah. My favorite superhero. Okay, I'm reading about Ashanti. I mean, I don't know if you guys know about Ashanti. So she's the babe that when I think the UK people sent a king on exile and she told the men, go and fight for your king. And the men were like, oh, I'm not going to go and fight. We're not going to go and fight. And then she decided to go and fight for like a king. So
Hmm.
that's like my favorite superhero. I don't know if that
Okay.
qualifies.
Yeah,
In terms
I,
of
I,
comic,
I,
I don't
I
know.
won't say it's qualified, but okay, let me rephrase. Fictional comic book
Fictional, okay, perfect.
superhero.
Let's see. I like Wonder Woman. She's
All
smart.
yeah,
ladies
me
like
too.
Wonder
She's
Gal
Woman.
Gadot.
Every lady like Wonder
she's
That's
Woman.
really
happening.
smart, and like, I just love her. I love Wonder Woman.
Hmm. Everybody likes Wonder Woman. So I think I'll ask one more. Okay, so give me your top three Marvel movies. Your top three Marvel movies.
Okay, so obviously Doctor Strange.
One. Wait,
Okay.
when you say Doctor Strange, sorry, is it the
So
part
I
one
was
or the
about
part
to
two?
say Doctor Strange Part One and Part Two. They take
Okay. Okay, we'll
they
just take
take
both of
the
them at
best.
once. Okay, let's just take both of
Okay,
them at once then.
okay. Then Spider Man at once. Then that's Spider Man the animation, not the movie.
Okay.
Oh,
Spider Man
okay,
the
okay.
animation. Yeah, the Miles
The
Morales.
latest,
Yes,
yeah, the Myers. Okay,
yes. So
okay.
that one I love that one so much. Then what other one? What other Marvel movie? I think I like Iron Man. The guy is rich. I like rich people.
Nkonyemego.
Iron Man.
Anoma, are you sure you're not probably you're not Igbo? Probably you have like
No,
this Igbo. There's
Ghana
an
No,
Igbo
I'm just
lady.
man.
saying,
There's a
Iron Man's
connection.
richness is given that it did what's that thing called? Yahoo Yahoo. Like the guy is so rich.
Iron Man is actually a very rich character. So I want to ask you one more question before I give the mic to Maureen. So just out of curiosity, if you were to date anybody in the data space, which part of the data space would you like to like be with? Like which okay, wait, don't let me be too specific. In tech
Okay.
in general, tech,
Okay.
cyber
Yeah.
security.
Yeah.
So which kind
Better.
of people can you think you can date to supplement yourself?
Okay, I don't think I can date anyone to supplement myself. I mean, firstly, that goes without saying. But I think if I was to date someone in the tech space, and I hope I don't, I'm not sure why, but I feel like both of us cannot be, I don't know. I don't have any experience. I can't talk from experience. I mean, I can actually talk from experience, but no, no. But I'd say UI UX. I love creative people. I love creative people so much. People that actually create like with colors, with words, with fonts. Like I love creative people. So UI
Mm,
UX definitely. I know
how
that's
about
surprising.
anime?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
I used to think tech people like to date themselves. Like, oh, you're in data. I want to date a data person. You
I'm
understand?
not a fan
You know.
actually. I don't think
Oh,
I'll
really? You're not even a
like
fan.
that.
I'm actually. I feel like I'm a fan of. Oh, you're in tech. I'm in tech. Then let's date. I don't know.
no.
It makes sense to me.
I
I don't
don't
know.
think I don't think that's a great. Maybe it
Mm.
is. Well, I mean, I've seen people actually succeed, but I'm not sure. Where does the balance come into play exactly? Like, who is meant to balance who out? Firstly,
I
and there's also the part where it's going to be demanding for both of you.
mm-hmm.
There has to be some
Oh.
sort of. I don't know. There has to be some sort of. I mean, I want to date
Mm.
trust fund person. If you guys know anybody, trust fund,
Non-tech, right? Non-tech, Abi. Non-tech.
non-tech trust fund. Yeah, old money.
Mm.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Ah, old
I love
money.
that. I love that. 'Cause I love that. Well,
And I
for
also
me,
I was going to say, okay, sorry, Pastor Martin, go on.
yeah. Yes, Sister
What
in
did
the
you just
Lord.
call her, Pastor Maureen? Are you
Is he calling
serious?
you Pastor Mori? I don't know. I don't know.
Pastor
I don't
Maureen,
know.
when are you opening your church, please?
Please, you have to pay. We are donating right now, like $50
Did
million.
you guys hear of the story of the pastor that sold his church and its members to another pastor? Like, you guys know your story.
I've not heard that story, to be
Someone
honest. I've
sent it
actually
to
not
me
heard
on
that.
WhatsApp this morning. Apparently, a pastor
Oh my
sold is giving mergers and acquisitions, sold his church and its members to another pastor, and then used the money to leave the country.
God. Japa.
You tell the man, though.
Okay. That's the most bizarre thing I've heard in a
I
while.
swear, it's shocking me. It's shocking me to me. I'm like I'm.
God.
Oh my god, I can't even understand.
Like you saw the people. I don't understand. Are they your property? Like, is it you saw the number of congregations?
It's the fact that somebody actually brought out money to buy and
Imagine going to church and they're like, okay, oh, our pastor is not coming today. Oh, we've been sold, though. They don't sell out, oh. You understand that kind of stuff. So,
Oh my god.
okay,
yeah.
please move.
Oh my god.
Maureen, just take it from here, please, before I die of laughter.
All right, all right, all right. Anamai, this has been an amazing session. I thought you wanted to say something before we
Yeah.
wrap it up.
Before we wrap it up,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
okay, is there anything I'd love to say? If you're a woman and you're interested in starting a career in data, check out Women Data Africa. So, like, we help women break into data. We provide resources, job opportunities. We also help you with your CV, interview prep, LinkedIn optimization, job ready type of conversations. We provide support. So please check out Women Data Africa. Yeah, thank you.
Mm.
Yeah, we'll definitely drop the link.
I
So
can
this
add
is
it.
the last drop. We do our regular stuff, which is like wrapping it up. We ask you like three questions, and you can answer in any order, or maybe I could call it and then you answer, right? So the first question would be, what is the best advice you've gotten as a data analyst, or that has helped you grow into this field?
Mm-hmm.
I had an evaluation recently, and I got a feedback from my team lead, and it said, I don't know if I should quote it. I don't know if you guys would rather I just let me just quote it from the document. Let me see if I can find it. But it said
Mhm.
something within the lines of Anoma needs to take more ownership of our wins. Something like that. Something within the lines of uh I need to be more vocal about my wins, if that makes sense. And I need to be able to like communicate them in such a way that I get recognized for them. I don't know. As I feel
Mm.
like as women, usually we kind of struggle with that. I mean, I do. I sometimes even when I want to post something that I won recently, something just tells me like, "Oh, you've like, are you not tired of sharing your wins?" But like, I know for a fact that men don't have the same they don't have the same thought processes. Like they're not very shy. And I've noticed it here also. Like most of the people that are very vocal are men. They're very vocal about what they did. Even if they did something like just 1% of like what they did, like very tiny, they're very vocal about making sure people find out about them. And it's something that I want to learn, and I think it's something everyone should learn to do. And one of the best ways you can do this is by sharing your work, your growth on social media. Like
Yeah.
you're going to get more access, you're going to get more recognitions, you're going to get more opportunities when you do that. Temi, I don't know if you know Global Temi. Global Temi always says stop building in silence. Like stop building and then get to the point where you're building and then announce. Like stop doing that. Like she's always talking about how when you're building, build and be vocal about what you're building. And I think that's an advice. And I mean, every other advice is also counts. Do the job, be consistent, be this, be that. But that's one major advice that I want to carry for the next couple of years.
Yeah, amazing. I think I struggle with that a lot. Trying to build in public. I don't know. I'm more of a behind the scenes. Is that buffet that
Oh my
finally
God.
dragged me out? Buffet is dragging my legs out in the social world, which I'm actually at that.
You know.
Well, that's an amazing advice. Thank you for sharing. And the second one would be obviously what is the not really was, but advice someone has given to you, but you don't think you could, take it in.
Mm, mm. I mean, people have given me so many weird advices, if I'm being honest. Like, extremely
Mhm.
weird, extremely weird advices. Uh, I think I think one I can't really think about anyone specifically that was like, oh, somebody
Okay.
must have heard this. Like maybe something like, uh, don't do that. Or if I tell someone that, oh, I got this opportunity and they're like, oh, don't do that. I mean, somebody's definitely going to say don't do it. I would say one weird advice that I've probably gotten. Yes, yeah, I was having an argument with someone about women and the tech space and how so many people are talking about getting more women in the tech space and how it's getting too much. And so the person was just communicating how I shouldn't be like kind of one of those people championing getting more women into tech. And I mean, I knew that was a silly advice, and I also knew that the person was talking from ignorance. So
Yeah.
one thing I always try to look out for when having such conversations, especially when it comes to gender inequality, is when people is talk when they are talking from ignorance or when they are talking from a place of say malice, for example. Ignorance is, I mean, nobody should be ignorant again in 2023. We have the internet. But I asked him, how many percent of women do you think are in tech? He couldn't answer.
Mm.
So as at then, we had, I think, 19%. As at this year, we probably increased to 21, 23%. As at that year, we were on like 19% of women in tech. Then I asked him, how many women do you think are black out of the 19%? If you have 90% of women in tech,
Yeah.
how many percent of that do you think are black? And then he couldn't answer. Then I was like, do you not understand what I'm trying to do? And he was like, yes. So I've I've educated him pretty much. So I think that's one advice when you tell women not to do things for other women. Why should you say that? Why should you do that? Like, especially when it comes to tech and access to opportunities and growth opportunities, don't do that. Just don't do it. Yeah.
Mm.
Right.
Thank you.
Well, last and final question. That really hits me because I wonder why you would tell a woman not to help other women get into the tech space, obviously. Well, the last and final question will be in 3 words or in any sentence that you're comfortable with. What would be the best advice you'll give a beginner starting his or her journey in the data career?
In 3 words. Okay, that's actually 3 words. Don't compare yourself. Yeah, those are 3 words.
Mm.
Look, like people tend, people will be texting me and be like, Anoma, see this person, they've gotten a role, they're earning times 10 of what they were earning before. And I'm like, and why are you comparing yourself, guy? Like, girl, rather, you just started your career. Like, you literally just started last week. Calm down.
My God.
Social
Relax.
media is just, social media is just an highlight. People just post. I post probably 0.00% of my life on social media.
Mm,
People post very little of their lives. You don't know what they're dealing with. You don't know what they're struggling with. You don't know if what they're posting is a lie. You don't know anything. So don't compare yourselves with anybody. Your journey is different from any other person's journey. Like, don't even have that mentality. Don't compare yourselves. I don't know how else to say this, but like, don't. That's like, that's an advice that I think
that
beginners
I
should.
think
Mm.
that's one of the best advice I've heard this night. Don't compare yourself,
Yeah,
to
don't
me.
compare yourself.
Yeah, yeah, that's really amazing. Well, Anoma, we are coming to the end of the session, and it's so nice to have you here. Like,
Thank
thank
you.
you for sharing your journey, your story,
Yeah.
and your DC and your animes with us. Please make sure you drop the name of the recommendation you gave me because I'm definitely going to see it with Abafe, of
Mm-hmm.
course.
I'm not
So
seeing anime
yeah,
with you. Come on. No, 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 no. I'm not. I'm not watching that thing. I'm not in the mood. My friends have tried. I will not watch. I'm not the watch.
okay, okay, fine, fine. So thank you so much, Anoma. Thank you. And I'm going to follow you on. I think I'm already
Yeah.
following you on LinkedIn. I'm connecting already
Oh,
because you accepted my connection.
I will.
Following you on, on Twitter,
Anoma is a
then
star
also
girl. Oh. Anoma is a star girl.
uh,
Yeah,
20, as
you
I've been
can call
saying this
me.
23,000 follow. How many people on LinkedIn?
You
Let's say
can
now
call
half of
me.
LinkedIn people they follow Anoma, like half of them.
How now?
It's so nice. It's so nice.
Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much. Thank you for coming, and also we'll keep promoting women in data Africa. Thank you for what you've been doing for the community, and please keep sending the newsletters. The Holy Spirit will keep ministering to you to be sending newsletters to us. Thank you. Abafe, you can take it
Yeah.
over.
Yeah. It's so nice to have Anoma in the building. She spoke. She like give us those ginger and all. And if you actually enjoy this session with Anoma, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm sure Anoma will give us like a link, that you can actually, get to use to link up with the women in data Africa. So just give us that link. We'll link that link in the comment section. So if you're interested, women, please, not men. Even men that identify as women, no, we mean
You
women
were
this
like,
time.
yes, but they can
Yeah.
subscribe to
So
the newsletters and like
exactly.
benefit from that. Men can do that, but not the community. Please,
Yeah,
thank
I
you.
get your newsletter too actually, so you understand I'm part of the people that get it. So
Thank you.
please, if you enjoyed this video, like I said, give us a like, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications to get notified when we release new video. Anoma, it's nice to have you.
Thank you for
I hope
having
we do
me.
this another time. Probably the next time we'll bring you, it will probably be a physical
In
one in
person.
London. Okay, we'll come to London. No,
Oh,
You
yeah,
put
yeah.
London?
Pastor Moran put it into existence for us.
yeah, sure, sure. We'll actually probably bring this session to London.
About
I'll come and have you.
Thanks so much, guys,
all
for
Uh,
right.
having me. Have an amazing
yeah,
night. Good
it's
night.
cool. Yeah, yeah. Good night. Bye.